Jessica, interview line. I think there's this disconnect that women just think because you want a high value man, you can get one. Hello, your microphone's not connected. Hello.
Hi. All right.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. What? How old are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm 29.
All right. What do you got for me?
So I just have a quick question regarding so I'm 29, I'll be Lord willing 30 this year, but I've been told that I look a lot younger than my age. So
Okay.
like will men like around my age or older, like will that be a hindrance to them approaching me if they don't realize that I'm like older, like their age?
I don't know. I
If you get what
mean,
I'm saying?
no, not really. It's not even on the
Okay.
topic. It's not even on the topic though.
I'm sorry, but I had that in my mind. Okay, but yes, I didn't really have a specific question regarding the topic, but I am grateful for your channel, and I will admit I'll take full accountability because you've talked about accountability that I was a modern woman, and I don't know where that started, but
Mm.
since I've watched your channel, I reformed, and I'm going to work on myself. So
All right, sis. I'm gonna get on to the next person. I don't know, but you being young looking, I don't know. We're gonna start out at the top. iPhone, Dub, Nadia, Monique, Jackie, Zakiya, lady name that starts with a K, and then the last lady with a D. All right. Oh, iPhone, Dub, your microphone's not connected, so you can't talk. Neither can Nadia. So Monique, you're up because those other people's microphones are up. Monique's not ready. Nadia, go ahead.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 27 or 26. I'm sorry.
Okay. What do you got for me?
Um, so I'm not interested in a high value man. I'm just kind of looking for a man who would help. I've been in a long term relationship for 9 years, and I know I've made some mistakes,
You have
but
or
I
you
just
have
kind of
not? You have?
I have made some mistakes. I have,
No, no.
yes.
Are you currently in a relationship?
Somewhat. We kind of break up every other day, kind of a thing. Um, Neither one of us are the most mature.
All right.
So I'm
So
just kind of looking
here's what I'm gonna
for.
do right now. Here's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. In the
Okay.
Zoom panel, there's 7 people. If you have a question or a comment about the topic, hit the raise your hand button because y'all are all coming in talking about what y'all want to talk about. And I did say you could have a question, but I also want to prioritize if somebody has something on the topic. So,
Okay.
all right, iPhone, yeah, you gotta kind of work with me here. I'll get back to you in a second, Nadia, but I got to get to the people who
Okay.
want to talk about the topic. Hold on. Uh,
Understandable.
iPhone, unmute.
Hi,
Hello.
Kevin. How are you?
Good. What's your first name?
Caroline.
Okay. And how old are you?
I am 26.
All right. What do you got for me?
So I guess my question is, so why do you feel that modern women are masculine?
Why do I feel that?
Well, not necessarily you, but I guess I heard you talking about that earlier. So I just wanted to touch base on that. Like,
Do
them not having
are you date
manners.
are you dating anyone?
I'm talking to someone.
Mm,
So I
do you have
guess,
any
yeah, dating.
do you have any brothers?
I have one brother, yes. One brother, three sisters.
How old is your brother?
Kevin's right under me. He's 25.
And is he dating anyone?
Yes.
And what does he say about modern women's masculinity levels?
Actually, my brother and I haven't had this conversation. So that's a good question. I'd have to ask him.
Well, if you talk to anybody, it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how often do you see women actually wearing dresses and heels and pearls versus
Well, that's
twerking,
true.
calling
Because
themselves?
amongst my friends, I'm usually the one that's usually dressed up and in heels. Like most of my
Okay, and
friends are
how
usually
often do you hear a woman talk about call herself a bitch and and twerking and dropping and shit like that?
right. You're right.
That's sexually aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that feminine?
Absolutely not.
I think you just answered your question.
Yeah.
I think
I
I
guess
mean,
I'm just a little rare because I'm
but
my
it's
upbringing and
it's
me.
observable reality though.
Absolutely, yes,
All right,
agreed.
all right, appreciate it. Yeah, see, you got to look at observable reality, what you can see. Monique, you're next. Unmute yourself, Monique. Jackie, you're after that. Hello, Monique.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 29.
All right. So, what do you got for me on the topic?
Um, you
You gotta
started off
you
with
turn
an
off you
intro,
gotta
which
turn
is
off YouTube in the background or on your TV or whatever.
oh, sorry, give me a second.
What the French
Let me
freaking
take
toast?
this off. Yes,
Yeah, go
it should
ahead.
be good now. So, you started off a topic about being a dude, and it's so funny because 30 minutes before your your life came up, my boyfriend and I were having that same conversation. And uh
Let's
I'm not I'm an immigrant. So
get to ma'am.
the
We got to
whole
get to the point. We got to get to the point. You guys can't
yeah,
just come on there and monologue. You got to get to the point. There's no
okay, so I was my question to you is, why is it me versus you? Why can't be both of us together working together
What does
and
dudes
just
mean? What is dude? When I say dudes, what did I mean?
meaning like, they acting like a guy?
Nope. Did you listen to the broadcast at all?
Yes, I started to.
Where did you start?
I started to the front when the front you
Really?
were,
So what did
you
I?
were
What does dude stand for?
I don't remember the first
Really?
part, but I
Then you
remember the last thing you end on
no,
with S was selfish.
yeah, but dude, man, there was an entire presentation where dude stands
Okay,
for something, and it's not just being a man.
okay.
So I don't. Your question is ill put, meaning you didn't listen. You guys got. I don't see. This is some problem with modern women too. You don't listen, then you expect to ask men questions about shit that you don't know. I clearly spelled out what dudes meant: delusional, ungrateful, denial, entitled, selfish. Not us versus them. Not that makes you a man. So yeah, go back and listen to it and debate that with your boyfriend because I can't get you up to speed on that. I can't get you up to speed on that. I can't get you up to speed on that. Nope, 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 nope. I don't do. Zakiah, go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello,
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How old are you,
I'm 29. This is Zakia.
Zakiya?
Yes.
What do you got for me?
I feel like a lot of women may be dudes, maybe because they were not brought up uh, to get the concept of what it is to have like the right mindset for a good man.
Okay.
Basically,
And
maybe
then what? And then what?
I don't know. Maybe they're brought up,
Then what?
and then what?
And then what?
Saying, I'm just saying, like maybe they were brought up in a household where
Okay.
maybe it
I
wasn't,
accept your premise. And now what?
and maybe they can learn from mistakes they've made in life.
Okay.
I
I don't
have
know where your microphone is. You got a microphone on?
a microphone. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
It sounds like you're just scratching or something across the top of your microphone.
Oh no, it's my laptop.
Okay. Well, sounds like anyway. So they didn't learn as a kid. Granted,
So I was saying they can learn from their mistakes in life,
learn from and who they're gonna practice on.
in relationships, past
Oh, so you're
relationships.
gonna practice on a man. Okay. So a man has to. So a man that's out here trying to get his stuff. He has to be your test. He has to be your crash test dummy because you didn't learn it in life.
No, no, didn't say that.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure if she's had bad relationships, you
no, it's
learn.
not. It's not. It's not, ma'am. Listen, to what I'm about to say. That's not. That's not the next man's fault. That'd be like you want. That'd be like you want to open a restaurant and you want to practice cooking on the neighbors, and you don't know how to cook. They gotta suffer your bad cooking so you can have a benefit later on.
So you're saying it's basically too late?
No, what I'm saying is I accept your premise that I'm saying that it is okay. Let me flip the script. Men didn't learn how to be men because they didn't have strong male role models. So you know what? They need to get out here and practice on you innocent women. See, you see how much you bucked your eyes?
Yeah, I see.
Uh-huh. See, all I have to do is switch it up to where it impacts women. Y'all have no problem thinking men should accept it. When I said I accept your premise, it was still somebody supposed to be understanding. That's the entitlement of modern women. It ain't my fault. Give me grace. No. Did you go to college?
I did.
All
I'm
right.
finishing the last semester in my MBA.
All right. If you went to college and you wanted to go to engineering school, but your school wasn't good in math, you couldn't go straight into calculus. You probably had to go to college algebra. It's called a makeup course, right?
Right.
Life still went on. You had to fit that in somewhere. Now tell me, what are modern women who didn't get it, like you're saying, what are they doing on their own to get better for the men?
Learning for themselves, maybe doing their own research, figuring things out before they get into a relationship.
It's not working too well. It's not working too well. I don't think they're doing that. I think that's what you think. I don't think they're doing that. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with your mic, but you need to correct what's going on with your mic. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How do I pronounce your first name?
Kasolu, but you can call me Coco.
All right. How old are you?
38.
All right. What do you got for me?
I'm worried. I do have a question for you, but I also would like to thank you because you've helped me appreciate my husband more.
Okay.
I was having, you go up and down through your marriage, and I was having thoughts of, I can do better. I need to leave, but not anymore. I mean, seeing the women that come onto this show and then just hearing them. And I mean, me and my husband have gone through a lot. We've lost a child together. We have another child together. There's no other person who would go through me with that. And our second son has just turned 3. So like, you helped me with that.
You're welcome.
Now, my concern is for my sister and her friends, and just, I think that women are dudes a lot, majority, and I don't know. I mean, some of the conversations I've been able to kind of get through. Like the reason I found out about you is my baby sister sent me the average at best, and she was surprised.
How many sisters do you have?
I have one. I'm the eldest of 4.
You have one sister?
Yes.
So you said your sisters and your friends?
No, my sister.
You said you're concerned for what group of women?
Well, she's in her she's in her early 30s, but I am concerned.
So are you concerned about your sister and only, or your sister and other women?
Yes, my sister and her her closest friend, but just women in general, because
are they concerned? No.
Yes.
Okay. Are, are are you saying they're concerned, or are they showing that they're concerned?
They are well, you wouldn't see, to me, I wouldn't think by what she's displaying on social media that she's showing she's concerned, but I know with conversations and how she brings up,
And is she
okay,
older than 30?
yes, she is.
So Coco, due respect, she's a fully functioning autonomous adult. She's not acting like she's concerned.
Yeah.
We've hit the ice. We've hit the Titanic. Okay, everybody ain't gonna make it. You ready? You really want the answer? You really want the answer? You sure you want the answer? Let me turn on the camera. Let me turn on the camera so you can see who you're talking to. Are you sure you want the answer? Because I don't think you really do. You and your sister. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Focus your energies of concern on your husband and your marriage. Your sister has chosen her life. But far too many women try to save other women when they need to be saving themselves. If we were on a plane, the flight attendant would say, when the air mask falls down, secure it to your face first, then help the next person. You can't save her if she's not concerned. Ladies, understand, there are going to be women who are going to die alone, no matter how much you're concerned. But you got to take care of yourself. And the best thing you can do is show a reasonable example
Yeah.
of something else to do. So,
And can I say something real quick lastly? I know sometimes a lot of women come on here and they don't want to believe what you're saying, and they just feel like they are the exception and not the rule. um I completely get from a woman, because I have my master's, my husband doesn't have a college degree, and
I'm a
for a while
PhD.
I held I always respected him. I never disrespected him in public, but I felt that I was better. But then the roles reversed, and after the death of our first son, I stopped working and I started doing my own thing, and I couldn't appreciate until watching that he's a really good man.
have you told him that? Have you told him that?
Recently, no, I've told him that before, but I do need to say that.
You need to tell him that every day.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you need to go tell him that right now. He doesn't need to hear you telling me without you
Well,
telling
well
him.
he works the third shift.
Doesn't
When
matter.
he gets,
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
Call him and tell him now. See, that's one of the things that I need from more black women. Black men are dying of thirst. We don't get enough affirmation in this world. And what black men want, whether they say it or not, is they want affirmation for the women they care about. And just because he knows it, it doesn't matter. You need to tell him.
Thank you. I will.
All the time. That's part of the inspiration part. Um, so yeah, you want to tell him that before he mess around and hear it on here. He's your husband. But I appreciate you sharing, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Let me go ahead and mute that. Yeah. That'll never make it to World Star now, will it? That'll never make it to World Star. He hates women.
Yep. This lady didn't make it to World Star. This video did not make it to World Star because most of the thing that he spoke about in this video, especially the last lady, I think most of these women wouldn't push this type of video. Now, let's break this video. The first lady saying she's 29 and she don't really look like 29. I mean, that's just a lie. That's BS. Let's keep it real. Who honestly don't see this lady to be around 29, 30s? She's every bit of around that age. So I think women often say, like most women, if they are in their 30s, they mostly try to make it look like they don't look like their age. And it's just most women. If you line up 100% of women that are over 30 years old, over 80% will tell you they don't look like their age. And I don't know where this new bullshit is always, coming from in their heads. How do you look like you look like and say you don't look like 29? But they say these things and they actually believe these things. And when they go out to the real world, they actually behave like, they are really not 29 or whatever the case is. Clearly, you look closely, you know that this lady is older. If not older than 29, at least 30, I'm seeing her to be every bit of around 30, 31, 32. And that is being honest, but in her head, this didn't really make sense. And she thinks that she exactly look like maybe 25, 22, 23. She's serious. Most women often think that when they're over 30 years old, people tend to think them to be way younger. No. We see you, your wrinkles and everything shows as you are older. Now, talking about the lady that I just said, women did not learn these skills growing up and they have to go out there and practice these things. And when Kevin Samuels flipped the script, she finally got it. I think our women mostly want us to give them grace, right? They always want us to give them grace, but they don't want to give black men grace, especially black men that were raised by single moms. These women wouldn't have patience for them to, learn or practice on them to become the real men that they would really want them to be. They wouldn't give them those chances. You behave feminine and they out. They complaining on a daily basis that black men are becoming more feminine and they're leaving. Why don't you give them chance for them to practice to be a better man that you really want? Why don't you allow them to practice on you? You wouldn't do that, but you want a man to do that. No. Just the same way you wouldn't accept us being feminine, trying to practice on you, the same way we wouldn't also accept you. And the lady crying, I think I'm gonna say this about this lady that was crying. I think most women often found themselves in these situations, and it's just because of the propaganda that is being pushed on the media. Black women need to be strong, blah blah blah. Most people did not make these decisions to end up terrorists by themselves. It's just what is pushed to them. Okay, this is how you're supposed to live. You're supposed to be strong, and if they are living the other side of it, then they are called weak. They are called pygmies. So they end up putting themselves in this situation, and when they come across these type of videos, then it's like whoa, and that is the reason why this lady is crying. This lady is not acting; she's crying from her heart. She's even trying not to cry, but it has got her to that point that she just cannot control it, and these are things that has been influenced by older black women, and they get to this age and they realize that is not true, and that's why she's crying. And I think we need more and more of black women realizing these things and start to appreciate their men. Stay tuned. Catch you in the next one. We out. Peace.